Welcome back to another video. This is the Workbench. I usually do these once a month or so, or once every 2 weeks. And I just wanted to give you guys an update of what I've been working on over this last little while. I haven't done one or uploaded a video very often since the beginning of 2023, and there's a very good reason for that. I destroyed my USB cord that uploads the videos from my phone to my computer, and I've been too lazy to go out and get one. I've been feeling rather anti-people-y at the moment. I don't really like to hang around too many people, so the idea of going to Walmart or somewhere and buying a cord is just too exhausting. But we're going to muddle through this, and I'm going to show you what I've been up to in the last few weeks. So you can see right out in front of me I have some World War II German armored forces and British armored forces. And these are the 12mm Victrix figures that I bought at Hot Lead last year, and I have been busy painting them all. Now, I painted every single one of the British tanks that I bought, except for the Stuarts, and the Stuarts aren't, or not, what would the British call them, honeys? I'm not too sure, but the small little scout tanks. I have 12 of them to paint, but they are so hard to assemble, I'm just going to scrap them. And then I have more German forces than this, but the idea of painting 12 Tigers and 12 Stugs, I don't know. I'm not into it right now, so I've struggled to get this project done over the last 2 months, and I'm going to have a review of the Victrix figures, the 12mm figures, the plastic stuff coming out probably later today or later this week. And I'm going to explain why I have only assembled, or why I've struggled to get this project through from start to finish. I started it on the 1st of January or the 2nd of January, and here I am now the 3rd of March, and I'm only now just finished, which is insane for me. Usually I finish a project every few weeks, but this one's been a bit of a pain. So look for that review. But this is just strictly to show you what I've actually painted. Now, if you're wondering why the camera is so shaky, it's because I'm actually holding it. Usually I have my stand, but so what I painted is 6 of these sextons, 6 Churchills, of which one is the howitzer version. There's 6 Fireflies, 6 regular Shermans. There's 6 of those Achilles, and there is, I think, what's that, 15 of these Cromwells. And yeah, I also have you'll see here in a second, 368 figures painted, both 184 British and 184 German. I'll show you these a little bit better here. Maybe it'll zoom in. Here's the Germans. You don't want to focus on that for me? I didn't feel like doing camo on such small figures. Normally I would. Here's a British, some of the British at least. They're actually really nice figures, but I'll explain more in my review of the Victrix later. But I painted almost 400 figures. Here's the tanks. The Germans, I got 2 Pumas, 6 Panzer IVs, because that seems to make sense. I got 3 Tigers, 3 Stugs, of which one's the 10.5 centimeter. I got 6 half-tracks, 3... Are those Wesps? Well, artillery pieces, and 6 Panthers. And that is what I have painted for that project, which I'm claiming now is done. Once I figure out what rule set I'm going to use for this game, I will base the figures for that rule set. But right now they're on their little sprues. I painted them on that way. It actually was extremely easy to paint them on the sprue. I'm really happy about that. Normally, when I try that kind of stuff, the sprue is so huge that it's very hard, but the 12mm Victrix sprue fits in my hand really nicely, and my fingers aren't like this when I'm painting, because as I'm getting older now, I'm in my 40s, my knuckles and fingers start to ache when I'm painting for too long, but these sprues, really nice actually to hold and paint. So they're painted on there. The next thing that I did was, you can see out in front of me here, I have my game table laid out with some 30k 8mm figures, and that's because I'm running a game at Hot Lead in a few weeks now on the Friday night. I could only get the Friday night. Very popular convention these days. Normally I run 2 games, one Friday night, one Saturday night. But no, not this time. I was too late registering my game, and I only got Friday night. So I'm physically running a game Friday night, and I'm play testing it. I have a buddy coming over this weekend to help me. Me and my wife, and doing it all week. You'll see little tiny Horace there. Last night he chewed up a bunch of blood angels there, so that's why he's by himself. But I also repainted in the last couple of months my terrain from what looked like a beigey, more like, see the color on the Reaver's base? The terrain was all that kind of color, and I decided to make it like an ash gray because I like playing on this mat. And it just looks like a ruined city covered in dust. So I repainted all my buildings, all my rubble, that color. The buildings are outside in the garage still. I haven't brought them in, but they've been repainted as well. I've added a few more pieces of terrain over there in the corner, no big deal. And yeah, so I did the World War II, I did the repainted the terrain. I also 3D printed an Imperator Titan and painted it in the last little while. And that painting was a pain in the ass because I assembled it before I painted it. And it was really hard to paint because it was really hard to hold. So it took me a long time to get that thing painted. But he's done, and I'll show him off in better detail later. So now I have 2. I have the one there, the Mortis one, and the Gryphonicus one. The Mortis one is currently in pieces because the cats jump up on the table and they'll knock him over. So he will be disassembled in a minute once I'm done this video because the risk of the cat knocking them over scares me a bit. I also painted a Stormbird, which is right there. Sorry for the movement. He's got a wheel off. I gotta put the wheel back on. But I painted a Stormbird for the Sons of Horus for this game, Apocalypse game. I painted a Blood Angel. Oh, come on, zoom in, you bugger. I painted a Blood Angel Thunderhawk. You can see the size difference there between those two. I painted 2 of these Lightning Strike Fighters for the Sons of Horus. 1, 2. And I did 4 Fire Raptors. 1 for the Sons of Horus, 2 for the Emperor's Children, and 1 for the Imperial Fists. And that is strictly for this game coming up in a Hot Lead tournament or convention. So that is what I've done in the last, I don't know, since January 3rd. Now, in that time, I've also been playtesting and tweaking the rules for the Apocalypse game. So the stat cards that come off the GW website, I've been tinkering with them a bit. So I have changed them up slightly to make the game a little bit, not that it's not quick, it is quick, but there's going to be 8 players playing this game that have registered already. So I don't want to be GMing 8 individual people simultaneously. So I've reworked the stat cards a bit to make them clearer because, not clearer, but essentially if a tank has 4 different guns on it and there's 3 different versions of that tank, I'm only playing with the one and I'm editing out. If I can show you on this card, you see how it has all these weapons here? Well, not all of these weapons are on the model that the player will be playing with, so I'm editing out the ones that aren't there so that there's no confusion. I don't have to keep bouncing through players saying, oh no, this vehicle doesn't have that weapon, it has a different weapon. I'm sure if you've run a convention game before, you understand. Things can get out of hand really quick, and I want the players to have fun, so I'm also making the game a little more killy, a little bit more explodey. I want when a player attacks a heavy tank with an Imperator Titan, that tank doesn't exist. There is in the game a chance that you'll miss your ballistic skill. So if you need a 3+ on a D6 and you roll a 2, well that thing missed that tank. No, I want the game to end in 3 hours, and to get that to happen, when this thing shoots at something, that thing, whatever it's shot at, it explodes. So I've just changed the rules a little bit, but yeah. So that's what I've done. Almost 10 minutes. I'm going to end it there. Essentially, 12mm Victrix stuff. Look out for the review later on this week. Some 8mm. These are the official models from Aeronautica Imperialis, the Thunderhawk. I painted a 3D printed Stormbird, and a 3D printed 8mm Imperator Titan. And I repainted the terrain. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the lack of updates in the last little while. There's reasons for that, but they'll bore you. So we'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.